Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Season 5. We have some banger matches here for you tonight. Starting off, we have Adolescents versus Evolution, where we'll be seeing a dredge set to begin things off. But before I go into any more detail about the future games tonight, I'd like to introduce my co-caster, Mercy. Mercy, how are you tonight?
Good. I'm doing good. I'm excited to cast with you. How are you, Smunk?
I'm doing very good. I've had a fantastic day and I'm keen to cast with you too. But going into further about the matches tonight, we have some really banger matchups with, as I said, Adolescents versus Evolution. Starting us out with Dredge, which is Adolescents' pick, and moving on to Mastermind, which is Evolution's pick. And if it comes down to it, we'll be seeing a hillbilly tiebreaker on the Blood Lodge. But following that, we'll have Kaido Kids versus Forsaken, with Spirit Ghoul Plague, Caustic vs. Ancestor, Unknown, Krisu, and Lich. And normally we would be seeing Bleed Out vs. Void with Blight Wraith Mastermind, but unfortunately, Void have had to drop out of the tournament due to some IRL reasons, so they will not be playing, and the victory will go towards Bleed Out by default. So we do only have 3 matches for you tonight instead of the expected 4. Some of you might be keen to be watching, so we're really sorry about that, but life does come first before DBD. But regardless, I'm keen for this dredge set. I'm a bit of a dredge enjoyer myself. I do like the killer, and I feel like I haven't seen too many people play dredge today, but seeing that Adolescents picked it here, we have Chowder on the dredge as well, Evolution Survivors. These guys have been playing DVD together for quite some time, and in terms of results, who do you think are you expecting to come up on top here, Mercy?
Well, I haven't really seen these two teams play Dredge much, so it could go anyway, but I'm secretly hoping for Adolescent.
Yeah, it is their pick, so I'm expecting them to know what they're doing. Going into very confidently with their killer player and their survivor player. Looking at Chowder's build here, it's pretty standard dredge build. You have Broken Doll for more Nightfall duration, and the field recorded to have Nightfall at the start and end of the game. We do find someone straight off the rip here. I believe this is FJ on the Tory Kane at this tile, with a remnant placement being made there. It is indeed Tory, but I'm not too sure if that's a great remnant placement. We need to cancel and replace, but no, we just go for the double vault there from FJ. Not working out, we get a tag there as he rotates away. Very strong window here into what is likely another power, but this part's really easy to play around with Dredge. You just got to show a little bit of patience, but an early TP from Chowder, I don't believe he's going to get that tag, but a greed from FJ is going to be resulting very early down here. No gens getting done. We have one about quarter away with Bravo and Anger doubling it. Halo might be working another one as well, but looks like we are trying to utilize this little bit of Nightfall we get here. That's excellent thanks to the Broken Doll, but no Killer Instinct nearby, so no quick tags, and with Nightfall ending soon, we do see him this skill check on a gen in Courtyard, unless that was just someone vaulting for some reason. It didn't just look like maybe someone accidentally dropping a cracker instead of locking a locker, but yeah, looking at the build, we got Sloppy for Enemy to heal, Corrupt to help us out at the start of the game. I don't really vibe with running Corrupt alongside Field Recorder. It feels like you're doubling down really hard in the early game. You don't really need to. But Pop Eruption, always great on Dredge. And very interesting play here with just placing the Remnant in front of the hook and then rotating away to try and force pressure elsewhere, Mercy.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and sadly, they weren't doubling that first one, so they will possibly get 2 pops for this chase.
Yeah, we do see the first gen pop in the background. I thought it was a double because they were both really close to being done, but it works out for Chowder anyway because we do get the pop eruption on that gen. With it being so close, we haven't seen the pop changes go live yet, so it will be 20% of the resulting progress. But looks like we're trying to get a tag onto Halo, but with a body block coming onto FJ there from Chowder, I don't believe, actually no, with 15-second BT, he will be able to make the nursery pallet. Chowder not even bothering to tag him. He's going to be trying to play a bit of a remnant gamble, and early TP might be able to catch FJ off guard. He didn't vault though, he's just sitting in the corner and just holding that remnant for ages. Chowder able to get a really quick down once more onto FJ, converting into a lot of pressure. We did hear a lock nearby. We have basement here, but we're not opting to hook the basement. Instead, we are just going to be slamming him right back in the middle of the courtyard, knowing as well that our eruption did go off in this chemistry room. We're going to go back up here, reapply our pop and eruption, or we're just going to be applying pop because eruption's off cooldown. Maybe trying to go for some tags because Chowder, with FJ so close to being dead, he can play super aggressively here and really keep the momentum. And at this point in time, I'd say it's looking like a 4K 2 or 1, depending on how they play the 3v1.
Yeah, it's definitely possible that it could be a 4K1 or 4K2 at this point. I just hope that FJ is able to do a really nice last chase and they're able to pop all the gems.
It does depend a good bit on how FJ is able to do this final chase here, as We did see his first chase wasn't great, and his second chase also wasn't very great as well. Getting caught out of the God pallet, maybe needing to call for Halo to rotate back down to take the Remnant away from the pallet. And then that way he's just able to bolt back over the pallet, Chowder's on the bad side, and then Halo escorts him upstairs somewhere to a stronger tile. It does look like Evolution have kind of conceded the fact that FJ is going to be dying here, and they need to use his precious seconds that Chowder's spending camping this gen to just crank some motors, because we have two very close to being done. I don't know if Halo's doing one, because I think the UI is bugged, but we do get one done there. Chemistry Lab is very close to being done. I do wonder if they've 99'd and they plan on popping it in his face when he rotates up, but no. We've got off of this 99 gen for some reason. I'm not too sure why. FJ's dead on hook. I don't know why Anger got off this gen. I'll be honest. I don't know where he is, what he could be doing, but very curious that he didn't pop that gen at all.
Well, they could be maintaining the health states, of course, but I do hope that they're able to go back and finish that top gen.
We do find Chase here as well, rather Nightfall active as well. We find the top gen as well. We're actually nearly at 1 gen, which is great to see for Team Evolution. Really converting some unfortunate chases from FJ then for a lot of gen pressure. We get that stun there from, I believe this is Anger. I'm not too sure if he has smash hit or not, but we're just going to be rotating back to go dry kick that gen maybe. But a bit of indecisiveness here from Chowder's Evolution, doing a pretty good job so far on this 3v1, although we have caught out our injured player Bravo at the clock tower. 2 pals here to work with. If we're able to get our exhaustion off, it could be good for us, but I believe that was a double vault, a nice little Remnant placement there, but he just aped into it, ate the Remnant, kick coming out from there. If he does have some sort of exhaustion, won't be there now because he ate the Remnant with Fuel Recorder, applies the exhaustion status effect, no pass of the courtyard, that's what it's called, my apologies. As we do see the eruption tag as well, we realize that we got a lot of gens cranking at the moment. We've got to convert, do a little bit of slugging, just try and get some tags as well, while Nightfall still has a little bit of activation on it. About a quarter left now. We might be able to convert this onto a down onto Anger if we play our cards right, but he's holding a ton of distance at the moment, and he's got this really strong window to work with, although FJ did die up here. No, this is a completely different area, my apologies. This is the upside area. Anger greening the pallet as well, allowing the dredge to take control, going wide around this pallet here, this table here, my apologies. We do see Bravo getting picked up in the background there now, so trying to do the Remnant placement around the table, a bit unnecessary, I think, but we do convert into a tag anyway as Nightfall is about to end. Bravo there, luckily rotating somewhere into the courtyard for a reset. I'm assuming they would have just picked him up and they've gotten out of dodge, but no, we do find Halo here, which does mean that we get a final tag on the last survivor. All 3 survivors injured, meaning this Nightfall's going to be quick. Well, look at that timer. We're already a quarter of the way there on Nightfall. It's going to be happening at any moment. That we know Anger's probably rotating for a gen, but we can't really commit gens at the moment, especially the chemistry from gen, because it doesn't have any locks on it anymore. So we got to get a reset here while Chowder commits to one of the survivors. I'm assuming this is Halo.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they're gonna have to leave that top 12 gen and just focus on doing the other ones that do have lockers and pallets nearby.
They don't have a lot of really good lockers near their gens because the dredges just kind of burnt through them all from what I've seen. They have a bit of progress on this generator that is a very rare spawn, that main gate gen. I don't know what you would call that. It's near one of the gates, like 12 or 6, whatever it's called, I don't know.
I do believe it's bottom 6.
The bottom 6? Yeah, the bottom 6 generator, which is a super rare spawn. You don't see that one often. Really good piling from Anger there. He might be able to get a wide here, but he is exhausted. Oh no, he's not mine, sorry. He is exhausted, but unfortunately, very nice fast sword, doesn't convert into much though. We do get the tag there. Rest of Evolution also injured. It's looking like a snowball 4K2 here. We're able to get the Killer Instinct. Applying Eruption just to be safe there. We heard the Killer Instinct in the background somewhere. We know that they were trying for bottom 6. We teleport back to our Sluggy just to keep an eye on things to see if anyone's going to rotate for an early pickup, but no dice there. If we're able to just get some Killer Instinct on whoever is nearby, but applying our Eruption on the bottom 6 generator, again, gonna need to get the TPs. We see Anger getting picked up there. Oh, a bit of a hug there from Bravo, resulting in a nice little down eruption coming through on those 2 generators. No auras to be seen there, so we can just comfortably commit to Anger, although he has this really strong pallet available to him. If we're able to get a nice mind game here with the Remnant, it's a bit too close to the pallet. He should just be able to vault back into it and then grab the Remnant and be okay. And we do see the Remnant being destroyed there, which will make Anger exhausted, and he's rotated upstairs. I think in the background there we might have been seeing Halo rotate for the pickup of the Bravo, but it could be wrong. If I was Halo, I'd probably just be saying it's going to be a 4K. Let's just make it a 4K1, not a 4K2. Something much more easy to tie, but we have this really strong window here we need to zone Anger away from. He doesn't have any resources, thankfully, so we can just hard commit to him. Bravo being picked up in the background, forcing Locker to get the pickup. Great plays there from Anger. Evolution barely in the game, but while all this mess is going on, those gens have been ticking down.
Yeah, the gens have been ticking down a bit, and unfortunately they won't be able to get the reset off because of the short down in the force locker.
don't have a strong pallet here, although we do get the live off, which is great for Bravo. See if he can convert it to a really useful area, but it's not don't want to be vaulting there, mate. There's nothing there. We do get a nice little hit there now. Please keep in mind, Adolescents is an SCA team, so Evolution are going to be on about 100-ish ping, depending on where they're located within Australia. We find Anger, although we don't commit to him. I think we were looking for Halo here, who is one of our fresh hooks here. We do find Halo. Bit of an awkward remnant placement. Great pathing away from there from Halo. Perfect timing. Allows him to go into the library to buy a little bit more time, but all of this chasing around while someone's on the hook, someone's slugged, etc., etc., it's just not worth it because nothing's getting done. Nothing useful is getting done in the background. They're just slowly running out of resources. It's more of attrition that Evolution is losing, but a fantastic stun there from Halo will allow him to rotate away from this death trap into hopefully what is a stronger pallet, but it doesn't look like he has a lot to work with. He has the chemistry lab pallet, but against Dredge, he may as well not use it, and that's exactly what he's done. He's just going to be rotating around this pallet drop here. If he has a drop down, he doesn't have the drop down window, and with this bloodlust coming through, he won't be able to make the pallet. He gets tagged through it. That's got to suck for him. Not quite able to make it there, but we do get a reset onto Anger and Bravo, which is fantastic for Evolution because it's going to be much easier to have extended chases and be able to commit to those generators and try and just claw ourselves back a much more reasonable win con than this 4K2 result it was looking like for a good bit here, Mercy.
Yeah, definitely agree. But I don't think the chemistry palette spawned at all this match.
Oh. Yeah, it didn't spawn at all. Well, this map sucks ass. Unfortunately, they just kind of made this palette have a bunch of RNG to it. The map, sorry, not the palette, have a lot of RNG to it. In the Cat Jam versus Reactor game, we saw like 11 pallets didn't spawn, and then the palette next to it also didn't spawn. So it was just kind of a mess for them, which was unfortunate. But Knifel coming in here, come into a chase on Anger. We see Halo coming through, balance lane coming through from Anger, going to be able to rotate away to a much more reasonable spot. And he has both pallets here. This is really good RNG here for Evolution. Channel realizes that he's going to have to break this connecting pallet, but just going to be bugging it off, not even bothering to take it there, as we do commit to a chase here onto Bravo. Again, our last fresh hooks, if we're able to hook Bravo, we can kind of just slug everyone else and just go for bleed outs, but Bravo does have the light, able to connect between Godfill at the bottom of the stairs. Really nice RNG here for Evolution. Very lucky for them that they have a lot of these really solid pallets, but we don't commit to Bravo. Instead, we're just going to be using our Knifel to try and find pressure. Maybe try and find a Halo to convert onto a down and really start amping up the pressure. But Evolution, bit by bit, they're clawing it back just barely. A bit of work here on the bottom 6 gen, although I don't think there's going to be anyone nearby to really capitalise off of it. We do find, once again, I believe this is Anger working this generator, immediately pre-throwing that block power, but Chowder's probably going to be breaking that and then teleporting away as soon as he's able to try and find someone that's in a bit of a worse spot to try and chase. Once again, we do have someone here at the power, Bravo there, getting tagged, no comms coming through for a pre-lead for him. He's just going to have to eat that tag there and then rotate away, and teleporting down. Chowder might be able to convert this into a down if he's able to locate him before he gets to a pallet. Bravo does have a pallet available to him, which is great to see. Does he have a window? He doesn't have a window, so with some good positioning with his remnant here and a roll-time teleport, Chowder should be able to get it down to Bravo. He cancels the remnant, gets it down. We see Eruption coming through. We're just going to be going for the hooks to not have any very accidental trauma attacks or threshold bleed outs or anything like that here.
Yeah, I'm really shocked that they keep going for that top 12 gen.
I guess maybe the philosophy is just he's kicked it so many times eventually he's not going to be able to address it. And as long as you have someone healthy working it, it should be okay to, you know, just take that tag and bugger off if you're healthy. But even then, it's just a bit of a hard basket gem to get. It has about halfway through on it, progress on it. I don't know where Halo is at this point in time. We haven't really seen him, and Chowder hasn't been really applying any pressure on him, so he could be working a secret gen somewhere, maybe the courtyard gen, because Chowder hasn't really been keeping an eye on it. I couldn't tell from that little glance there if it was being worked on or not, but looks like Halo is stealthing down for the unhook onto Bravo just before he hits second stage here, as Anger is once again interrupting his gen, but again, no resources left. Evolution are basically running him on nothing. The whole map is just bald at this point. I don't know if he does have the power here, thankfully for Anger, so he can play it around a little bit. Doesn't want to go for a pre-throw, because as soon as you pre-throw it, it's just kind of a 50-50 dredge. Tries to go for the 8 there, but it doesn't quite work out in his favour as Chowder does time his teleport perfectly to get that tag into Anger. Anger pre-throwing the library pallet as well, just trying to get as much distance between the dredge and himself. It looks like he's going to be teleporting after Anger or teleporting away. He tried to cut him off, it didn't quite work out because he was running next to a window, but bounce landing coming in clutch for Anger, able to buy him a good bit of distance, but there's nothing to work with here over at this SK. He's just got to run around this stinky little vault that doesn't really do much for him. He's still got that God pallet up, though. I don't think Chad has broken it yet. Yep, it is still up. You're going to break this pallet, big man. No dead hard, of course, in the dredge set, so unfortunately, Anger will be dying there, and probably a basement hook, because basement is right next to this pallet. Ideally, you do get this basement hook, and then you just try and force a 2v1 as soon as possible, because it's a war of attrition. War of attrition. Yeah, good one, man. That eventually Evolution are going to win. Like, we see that gen in the chemistry popping. Thankfully, we're down to one gen left. But once again, only Anger's close to death. And I don't know if Chad has enough time to commit to enough chases to down Evolution before they pop one more gen. But with that being said, I think he's hooked dead in the middle of the last 3 generators here, Mason.
Yeah, he definitely has. I'm kind of hoping that Haley might be stealthing behind the hook and can get it at last second while Darbo's able to wreck another gen.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did see Halo get found there. He was trying to start stealthing, but we're just using a couple of our Nightfall tokens there just to start Nightfall once more. We do catch out Halo off guard. I hope for Bravo's sake he's near Anger to get on hook there. Really good patience there from Chowder, baiting Halo into thinking that he's going to be teleporting to the hallway locker, but nothing happening there as he does double back directly into Chowder's arms. Now with the free tag into Halo, it's going to be a lot easier to find. I am curious to see where Bravo is, but the teleport here, this might mean Halo's dead. I think he has a part in this hedge. He should do. He does have it as well. Halo able to rotate away. I don't think he has any exhaustions to help him out here. I'm pretty sure this is our smash hit player, unless my memory doesn't serve me right. Anger does die as well, which tells me Bravo should be committing that generator that Chad is looking at currently. And that he is, and it's barely done. So this will be a very nice 4K1 here for Adolescents, a very respectable result on the dredge. All his team has to do on the survival side is pop all the gens, and you have a very comfortable set point there.
Yeah, and you definitely thought at the beginning it was going to be a 4K1.
Yeah, usually you see 4K1s, 4K0s from Dredge, especially with these RNG changes. It's very difficult to be like, with old Dredge before the RNG changes to Midwich, it was just, oh, I'm going to run to this pallet because they all spawn, all the good pallets anyway, they all spawn in the same spot. The only thing you've really got to worry about is where those, like, really good windows spawn. Are they top or are they bottom? Because they only spawn, like, either top or bottom. If it's top, it's not bottom. If it's not bottom, it's top. That's really the only thing you've got to think about. And then, of course, the individual tiles that can spawn in the rooms. But now that the stuff like the 11 pallet just doesn't guarantee a spawn anymore, it's really hard to just play against Dredge sometimes, because sometimes you just go like, oh, I'm being chased first, and you run to 11, throw the God pallet, extend this chase, and it's just not there. You can't rely on it anymore, and then it's the other team's turn. The 11 pallet is there, and all the really good pallets are there, and it's a much easier time for them. So it's a bit of a shame how that's happened, because it's made Dredge a super volatile set in terms of playing against him. But with that being said, we are going to go into an intermission while we get the second half of this Dredge set up for you all. We'll be right back after a short break.
Hi, welcome back to the second half of the Dredge set. We do have Evolution's Killer Bravo. Personally, I don't think I've ever seen him play Dredge, but I am excited to see what they're able to pull off. And Spunk, I don't know if you've noticed, but they do have a pretty different build to what Chowder brought in. What do you think's gonna happen?
Chowder, I feel like, played it super safe on his build, and he got a very safe result with his 4K1. Bravo here, he has similar add-ons as well. He's dropped the Corrupt, which I think is a correct play. And he has a very totem-centric build. He's got Pentimento Ruin, which is not bad depending on where the totem is and if you keep up the pressure. Very nice early tag though onto Thomas though. Sloppy Butcher as well, basically mandatory in the sky for a bit of slowdown. Surge, I think that perk is bum cheeks because you don't really have survivors dying usually in your active gens. At least you shouldn't have them dying in your active gens. Very nice down there. Bravo sort of on pace to what we saw from Chowder last game, so great start for him, all things considered. We see A71 and No Score both cranking away on a motor there in the background. No Score's gen is flying, so it might get double. But Ruin as well is a very, very good perk on Dredge, who teleports so often and interrupt gens very often. No one there doing the totem, thankfully for Bravo's sake. It is also very close to his hook. because he's able to sort of double whammy camp with it a little bit. But we do find someone here, Ruin coming in clutch there, pushing A71 off the gen. If we're able to, we could get a part or a tag before when we need to teleport back and get Thomas. Looks like A1Q has gone off the hook, and we do see a pull happening there in the background. Very nice patience. FTP coming through from A1Q onto Thomas, so there won't be any tunnel lads happening anytime soon here, unless we do still want to go for it. Very early hop out the locker there from Bravo after seeing no killer instinct. Actually, never mind, it wasn't even Nightfall. Ignore me, I'm stupid and dumb. We see the courtyard gen getting done there, which is huge. He's trying to sniff out his tunnel out, seeing where he's stealth, but unfortunately, he's just lost both of them. So he's going to have to teleport back to A71 here and just commit to a different survivor just to build up a little bit of pressure, get it down, and as well as interrupt that generator there with Ruin. Ideally, no one's found his Ruin yet. Very nice fast swap there from A71. Probably a bounce landing play as well, able to rotate away, go over to a hopefully this God pallet if it spawned. Doesn't look like it spawned. Bad news for Team Adolescents here. He's going to have to greet away, but no blockers anywhere near those staircases there for Bravo to teleport up to and reliably cut him off. He's just going to have to rotate back into this sort of like locker area there. Good vacuum power drop there from A71. Excellent resin placement there. He teleports back. That will be a down for Bravo, but okay, it worked out. We do see, however, Ruin popping there in the background, which is not good for Bravo. I don't think we saw any surge value either on that down, which is a shame. We are essentially Pentimento Andy once we go like that total, and I don't think it's gonna really help out Bravo given that he's lost a tunnel out and the speed at which Adolescents are able to do the generators.
Yeah, unfortunately, he lost his room pretty early. Kind of wish that it spawned in a better spot, but he might be able to pull this back.
Yeah, it could have been worse, you know? It could have been in the library in that little like area next to the ramp that he used to go downstairs, because that is universally the worst totem spot in the universe. I think we should just be able to tap A71 as long as we can to 15 reliably, and that we can. We did graduate primary school. That's fantastic to see. We do see someone on our Pentimento. They tried committing it, but it didn't work out in our favor. This is our FTP. This is kind of the pressure we need actually to try and secure this potential Tycon. Down onto A1Q as well, our FTP player, and just teleporting back up. We should be able to get this secondary hook onto A1Q, get another hook onto A71. And we're kind of laughing. This is really good pace here for Bravo, and he's just able to camp this area too with his Pentimento and his Digital Earth, because Pentimento is going to be just naturally slowing down the generators there in the background for him. So he doesn't really need to worry about interrupting them, although we do have another survivor here. It is Thomas, our original talent, trying to pressure people around. A1Q still on the floor, no scores, forced to come off that generator. This is the type of pressure Bravo needs here. This is looking real good for him here, but no scores, rotating away there. Going to be dropping down through the window. I don't think he's about landing play, so he's not going to go very far. Bravo also still neglecting to get the pick up onto A1Q. He's more concerned about his talent. I believe that is no score as well, getting interrupted there from the pole. No, this is actually Thomas who is rotating back upstairs, which is very interesting. With this teleport, we might actually be able to down. He could drop down, but Thomas running back into this area here. We see the pick up onto Jake in the background, pull coming through onto Thomas, another hook for him there. And honestly, the only person that can come up and save A71 at the moment is no score, and there's only one way he can do that, and that's through those staircases if he wants to come here nicely and efficiently. But Bravo opting to play it super safe and hold it close. We see some scratch marks there in the background. If we're able to just stand in the doorway correctly, we might be able to body block the unhook, but no, we're just right next to A71. We're camping two people. We're above our Pentimento. No one's on gens. It's looking great for Bravo here, Mercy.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm kind of sad that they didn't go save A71 instead of doing the pickup, but
we didn't manage to save A71 there. No scores here as well. I'm assuming A1Q, despite the HUD not telling us so, is just on a generator, and that is one gen left. We know where everyone is here. Pentimento again still up, slowing everything down. If we're able to get that down onto Thomas, we could probably just kill him and then play the slug game with our last two survivors, which would be a great boon for Bravo here. Does old mate here have anything useful to him? He has this pallet and a window. Eats a stun there onto Bravo, but no smash hit to be seen. A good weapon placement here should spell the end for Thomas. He's playing it real patient though. He vaults back into it. He's trying to force him to double back to the pallet, and he does. A good down there onto Thomas. A pickup happening onto no score. If I was Bravo, I'd be killing Thomas to force a 2v1 with one gen remaining. I think this one gen remaining is not going to have a ton of progress. We know exactly what those two survives are. They're both injured. We nearly got Nightfall. It's looking like a 4k2 in the books if we're able to transfer this onto another down, and we find no score right off the rip. He's got bugger all to work with. with here. He's got these dinky little library cards to do basically nothing. He's on ping. If we're just able to do a little bit of remnant play, we bait it out with the place in the remnant. We get the tag down to no score. We're getting it through the locker jump, meaning we can indeed do that there, but we don't find any killer instinct. If A1Q plays his cards right, he just has to crouch in a corner, be very, very quiet like he's hunting rabbits, and just avoid that killer instinct here. We have a bit of progress over by this piano generator, but Bravo needs to not just keep jumping out of lockers every time he teleports. He's got to use all 3 of his tokens to just teleport around and around and around, and then try and find A1Q. He could also go for the pickup onto no score here, as he is fresh, so he can afford to do that. And just make sure he doesn't bleed out and we don't see any silly -2s or anything. Sorry, -0.5s. Oh, we hear Jake! He's somewhere nearby! Has Bravo heard him? I heard him. No, he hasn't heard him! He's got no ears! This is such a shame, Mercy!
Definitely is a shame. I'm surprised you heard that because I definitely didn't.
He's right there, where I'm pointing, in front of me. He's getting it down and Bravo's pulled it out of his ass! He's got a very, very comfortable 4K2 here from Evolution, ripping the set out of Adolescents' hands. It's looking fantastic for Team Evolution. Very well played to him as well. I did hear him as he was getting off Jake's cries. I believe he was downstairs in the library. Fantastic play from Bravo there. Surge doing sweet effort, but able to get some really important hook placements as well as interrupting Jake, who was doing his Pentimento totem in front of him into a down, and then able to just stay around that area, and Adolescents weren't able to recover because the area was completely and utterly bald. Just fantastic punishing there from Bravo from a really silly mistake from Adolescents. I don't know why our only injured survivor was doing the Pentimento next to where the person was hooked. That seemed like such a silly mistake, and I don't know why they did it. Do you have any closing statements on this set here, Mercy?
Sadly, not as much as you do.
Fair enough, but very well played to Bravo. You should be proud of yourself for that one, mate. Excellent play there. The series is 1 point towards Evolution, 0 for Adolescents, and that was Adolescents' pick as well. Now, don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a short intermission, and we will be right back with Evolution's pick of the Mastermind on Cold Tower. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Season 5. This is Adolescents vs. Evolution, the first map of the evening. In case you missed it, we saw Evolution's killer Bravo hit a 4K2 result there, which does mean the win goes towards Evolution, beating out the 4K1 from Chowder by a single generator. Fantastic play from Bravo there. Great capitalization on the survivors' mistakes, which does mean Evolution win Adolescents' pick, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting. I'd have to double check the VIP tipping, as I haven't done that today actually, but we do load in here now. We have FJ here on the Mastermind. Very familiar killer for Evolution here. So we're going to be seeing how Adolescent Survivor sort of adapt to this, and looking at his build, it's pretty stock standard stuff. In terms of perks, you're going to be seeing these perks on every single Mastermind set ever. Brutal, Pain, Resurrection, Corrupt. Why would you use anything else? And we have the leather gloves. Again, forgetting what all of Wesker's little green add-ons do. I don't remember what that does. I think it's movement speed or something, but we also have the Jewel Beetle, which does mean we throw our survivors earlier, which we can capitalize into a nice little injury. We find A1Q right at the start here. That's going to be live, I think, but he does stay at the 4-lane tile. 4 lanes aren't a great tile to play against Wesker. A lot of straightaways for him to work around. We see a shadow there in the background. Fantastic grab there from FJ. Great work there. Unfortunately, no Jewel Beetle throw at edge map. That would have been a great boon for FJ, but we're just going to have to playing around this car. Can we see any cheeky little hug pets before it's removed next week? Because unfortunately, that should get removed. A great hug tag from FJ there. Fantastic start to the game for Team Evolution, Mercy.
Yeah, that was amazing. I definitely hope to see more, or maybe you'll jinx it into happening a lot more.
Yeah, I think they did improve your Wesker's ability to do that recently. They kind of made it a bit easier to do, so hopefully we see some more goofy shit like that, because I do enjoy seeing really strong showings of Proax in terms of little text and stuff like hug text and perspective. It really shows someone's ability to understand the killer and their experience with the killer as well, and applying it into a practical area. Like the way he did it there, it was practical use. It wasn't just for flair. It was to acquire a very comfortable grab there onto Jake, and a very quick grab there onto Jake as he can use the chase to A1Q. This is our life base. So using that main building window, I still has 15 seconds of BT to get the hell out of dodge. He pre-throws that path to try and play it through, although this pallet sucks So he's going to be trying to run around. I think Vittorio is here to try and take a hit, but we're able to squeeze past. We don't squeeze past. We do instead get the injury onto Vittorio. Deep wound coming through onto A1Q because he was slammed into... he did get Vittorio slammed into him, which does do a damage state, but it doesn't down. So pre-throwing the power up there. Brutal Strength probably going to be breaking out into this building wall there and trying to use our power around the car power. But now we're just going to be going for a break there, maybe cutting through main to try and cut off A1Q, handing ourselves a listen to see if he's double back at all, but thankfully no doubling back here for A1Q. And with some well-placed dashes, we do get the grab there onto A1Q, who I thought would want to die away from main building, but he's just sort of lied the way into a tile and then come back into main. So I think that was a pretty big mistake there. Also, Painrez wasn't using his first hook. They put all their eggs in one basket to get that first gen done, so Painrez now being used on A1Q's second hook there. Thomas being infected and injured in the background. Excellent hook here for FJ. It's all coming up for FJ here for this set, Mercy.
It definitely is. Maybe they're more worried about the bottom side needing to get done than the top.
Maybe, but like looking at the gen spread here, you have your classic 11, 12, 1 main 3 gen spread here, and we just seem to be dying. I don't really know why. Maybe they're trying to, when it's the 3v1, die over by Shaq while they clear the gens over by the Shaq side. The tunnel actually happens in main building, maybe, I don't know. But we do have Adam trying to convert a hit take here onto Jake. We have another gen popping there in the background. No scores gen also about to pop there as we do try and get Jake over to the Shaq, but we bugger up! Oh, Jewel Beetle sucks so much! Just getting scammed there. Stream's lagging a little bit, so I can't quite see what happens. I think Adam just took a hit take, which is indeed what happened. But we're going to go for the tunnel and missing our second dash there. That bug from Jewel Beetle is going to kick our ass 10 times over because we should have had a dead gamer at 2 gens, but unfortunately now we've got to commit all this time to stronger areas as we commit the chase onto Jake, I believe, and he is still here. We haven't lost our tunnel yet. He's infected, he's dewounded, he's on death hook, he's got every debuff known to man as he tries to play his life here, pre-throwing every power that comes across, trying to make use of another beautiful hug tech there from FJ will result into a down onto A1Q and a death at 2, while we have 2 other injured survivors in the background there. Likely Thomas and something are both ideally resetting each other in the background, hopefully with solidarity, while no score works one of the 3 gens in the 12 11-1 split. We see the reset coming through onto Thomas here, hopefully something soon. We also don't see this gen active, which does mean no scores gen is one of our 3 gens over by the main building. What time is that? My cat just knocked something over. I'm so sorry if that was so loud.
I can confirm that I didn't hear anything, so it might have just been me.
My bad. It was so loud, I thought my mic wouldn't have picked it up, but we do find someone here at this rock, and it is our sprint burst play. Fantastic 99 there from No Score as Thomas finds himself in the background pre-throw there on the rock tower, breaking it in a way that does give No Score the map, though, which is unfortunate. Ideally, he might have been able to rotate around the other way and then go for it, but Jewel Beetle, here it comes. This is where we see the value. Fantastic throw there into the box from FJ. Unfortunately, No Score will still be able to make this eye filler, but he will have his second token back soon. If he does break the power and then pull up, he might be able to get a quick little double dash of pre-throwing the power near the main building. Will be No Score able to commit to this chase just a little bit longer and buy his team more time, but all the resources in this area are looking quite grim. But we do find something lurking by a rock over here. We did see Adam's trench coat nearby, but no exhaustion to get us anywhere useful. We do get slammed into the wall there. No throw coming in from Jewel Beetle as FJ just goes back to kick his gen. We've got 2 injured and infected survivors on the board. Don't know what Thomas is doing, but these gens are pretty high proc. So while it was looking pretty grim for Adolescents at the beginning of the match, we have sort of brought back a bit of time with the generators here, trying to break this 3 gen. FJ has done a good job though, pushing them away from them, applying his eruptions, which does mean he can commit to one of the injured survivors here. And we also at this, I like to call this one the Z-Wall jungle gym because it's a jungle gym and it's got a Z-Wall in it. We do find a good bit of progress, which does mean someone was lurking nearby. I think it might have been Thomas. No score being reset in the background there, but still red infection, as Thomas is actually over by the 11 gen, while our injured survivors are resetting by Shaq. If FJ is lucky, he might be able to find Thomas stuffing in the main building, but it's very unlikely because he's just checking his progress on his generators and making sure they're not being worked. Both no score and something will need to cleanse soon. And at this point, we're in a bit of a deadlock at the moment with gens regressing. We see the uninfected time coming through. Something is also red infect as well. And this gen, I think, has been worked on. No, it hasn't. Still regressing, actually, as we also see the other infection being taken off of something here as it comes to a bit of a standstill, Mercy.
Yeah, it's definitely coming to a bit of a who's gonna play first, but I do believe this could be 4K0, maybe even outs.
I think if our survivors here, adolescents, are able to commit to these chases for long enough without getting too tapped, because we still have 3 pain res tokens on the board as well, with 2 pain res hooks by Shaq. So if we do commit to chases by Shaq, it's not the end of the world because we have our pain res tokens, we have our eruption. We're getting disgusting hits like that through pallets as well because with these 4 survivors on ping. Breaking the pallet there does force No Score to rotate down into the map as well. So now we're looping right next to an active gen. If we die here, it's bad news there with a nice little M1 there. No need to use our power. Eruption coming through there. We did see, I think there was Thomas blocking the one gen. If we're able to get a pain res nice and quick smart, we should be able to interrupt that gen and then go kill Thomas. And we have really nice pain reses this game, actually. We have 2 by Shaq and 2 by main, so it doesn't matter what side of the map they died on. They've always had a pain res available to us. And this is going to be the second pain res of the trial. Lucky hitting one there just in time to interrupt it. And if FJ's lucky, he'll find Thomas trying to rotate away from one nice and early. I think we saw some very, very faint scratch marks there in front of that hook. I'm not insane. I'm pretty sure I saw them. So that does mean that Thomas was nearby here stealthing. But I think FJ's just barely missed him as he's rotated back further up the map by edge map there as he is lurking nearby. But he does find Thomas. He didn't get up that far up the map, actually. He was just lurking by a jungle gym pallet here as we are just going to be immediately breaking that pallet there. We have a stinky little 4 lane to work with, but 4 lanes suck. It looks like something's just going to be trying to commit a gen. It's looking like a 4K2 if we keep this pace up. But, oh, Thomas running down a 1, though. Something was also over by one of the gens working it, so I don't know if he's just trying to stop the regression or if he's just letting No Score go second in order to buy his team a little bit of time. But it does look like we did get the injury there from Thomas. It didn't look like for a little bit, but with that injury coming through, Thomas is injured right in front of main as well. He's got to go for that bolt as well. I don't know if he's able to do it. This is our head-on play as well, just triple bolt and everything. That's going to block it. And, oh, nearly getting Thomas there, but unfortunately just not quite able to readjust our dash in time as Thomas very nearly dodged into it. Dying back in main is really bad here because this is deep in the heart of our region with 2 injured survivors. Painless hitting one of the high progress gen it is. And at this point, Mercy, I won't lie, it's looking like a 4K2 if FJ can keep up this pace.
Well, I definitely think I shouldn't have said anything at all. I shouldn't have voiced my opinions because it just all went downhill.
Yeah, a bit of the caster's curse coming in there, unfortunately. Although it has slowed down once again to a crawl. Everything's regressing. It's all pretty low prog. We're also running out of resources as well. In terms of main building resources, I think we have 1 pallet at 1 that's in a 4 lane. And that's it. Maybe a dinky little filler nearby, but I'm pretty sure it's just the 4 lane and 1, and outside of that, we're playing off a main building window, and there are exhaustions to try and get something going here, and then going towards like 4, 5-ish, where I think there should still be resources, but medium vault there is not going to be good for something as his soul gets slammed into the wall. I don't actually know where his body went, but we're just going to be getting the injured there on something and then rotating back to the hook here. A bit of a hit and run playstyle from FJ, just trying to force survivors into a sticky situation. Camping Thomas to second is a really good play. He knows the gens aren't getting done. At worst, I think it's 7 is probably getting done by No Score, and I think FJ has clued in on that as Thomas is approaching second stage. Lucky No Score and something are both just working this gen here, and that they are. We find No Score here, our sprint best player. No eruption on that gen, so if we do down No Score, it won't really mean much because we don't have eruption on the generator, but looks like he's about to kick it. We see the item tapping there onto Thomas. I am curious if he rotates back to try and cut off and either tunnel out Thomas, or a 2v1. He tried to bait No Score there. It nearly worked if he was a little bit closer. That would have been an insane hit, but ideally, we find Thomas and force a 2v1 here. Alternatively, we do find something who is our final pain res, so this will be a big kick of the teeth to that generator at 7. All he's got here is a, what's it called? Pallet. That's what they're called at the 4 lane there to work with, but we're bouncing off of something and committing to just eliminating Thomas and getting a 2v1 here.
Yeah, maybe Thomas can have like a really nice chase and maybe make it all the way to Shaq. They have been dying a lot in the 3 to 4 gens, so...
Yeah, we just keep dying in main, and unfortunately every time a chase does happen in main and someone needs to sort of get out of dodge and go towards Shaq, no one's helping to sort of guide them towards the Shaq where they should be dying. But regardless, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because Thompson is dead on hook, so we have a death here at 12. So, getting the hook there, forcing it to everyone. We do pop 7, so no 4K2s on the board. Thankfully, for Adolescents' sake, they do avoid the very disastrous 4K2 result of Mastermind. Mastermind is not that strong of a killer. He does have tier 3 balancing, so he's got a lot of stuff to fight against here, as well as Cold Tower being a fairly strong map for survival. There's a lot of good resources tied together fairly comfortably. All the survivors are also injured. We do find something as well, who's our last fresh survivor, so this is a fantastic chase to take. Red infection as well does mean he's 4% slower, so it's going to be a much easier thing to take. But no, we get stunned there. Smash hit coming in clutch, able to get us the hell out of dodge. We pre-throw that Philip out and just try and play around it, which is great to see. But unfortunately, I think something's just kind of doomed to fail here. Eventually, FJ will get a hit on this pallet. He goes for the double back. He does get the hit over the pallet. I thought something might have been able to make it, but again, once again, we do have Ping getting the pull there to get our Pain Res, probably hooking in front of main, and then no score is just kind of dead in the water here, I think, Mercy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty impressed that they were able to get to a 4K1 considering the death spots and all the injures, but they definitely did well.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely brought it back from the brink. We have a Crow landing on this rock as well. I was going to say that might mean he's near the edge map, but no, he's just bombing the rock, which is, in my opinion, utterly psychotic. But I think FJ should probably drop that because there might be actually a world where no score gives up on hook and something does actually hit the hatch here, which could be funny and a huge boon for Adolescents, but with nothing really being available at Shack, I'm pretty sure they've also used Shack Pallet, and also the hatch, if it does spawn, is in favor of FJ, of course. I'm curious to see if he gets a little bit freaky with it and goes for some sort of insane tech. Oh, he nearly gets it, but not quite. No score is dying on the hook as well, so FJ either has to get the down here and keep no score away. He kind of just has to stand on the hatch, FJ, the hatch. And then I was about to say, if you missed that dash and he got that hatch, I think your entire team would have been screaming, jumping game with right now. But 4K1 from FJ, great result from Evolution. So very well played to them. And any closing statements regarding this game?
No, I don't have any.
It's okay. It was a really good, well-played match from Adolescents there as well. They tried to play the 3-1 to the best of their ability, but I think the turn on that just happened way too early. The chases were too fast for our Jake player there to sort of capitalize on making any time for his team, and it just didn't go their way. So we're going to be looking at 4K1 result there as we go into the intermission while we set up the next half wheel. Hello everybody, welcome back to Season 5 of OSL. This is Game 1 of tonight of 3, Adolescents versus Evolution. Now, in case you missed it, we did see Evolution spectacularly take Dredge from Adolescents in the first game, and now we've seen FJ set a fantastic win con of a 4K1 result last game for his survivors. So all the survivors need to do on the side of Evolution is pop all the gens. As long as they pop all the gens and they haven't brought in any duplicate perks or anything like that, we're sweet, and we can just take a big 2-0 home, which is going to be fantastic for Evolution. But I am curious to see how our killer player here does adapt to the situation, as we have a very strong line of survivors on the side of Evolution. Now, Chowder running basically the same build that we saw last time, but no Dual Beetle. Instead, we have the Ouroboros Tentacle, which I think increases your move speed when you're holding your power. Mastermind add-ons, for whatever reason, are some of my weakest. Oh no, that should have been a really nice injury, but unfortunately, the dash was just too perpendicular to the wall. I think that's the right word. I just pulled that out of my ass. It just wasn't. It was crooked, alright? You missed it. You missed the damn dash. But unfortunately, missing what otherwise should have been a really easy injury, because Halo did vault that late, and will allow Halo to get away because I believe he has a light player, but finds Halo again and tries to play around his power once more, but unfortunately getting stuck on a bit of a spool there as Halo continues to play around this Philip out to the best of his ability. Eventually, he will be able to transition this part into the main building window, and as he breaks this, he will be able to vault that main building and continue the old main building run, which does take forever. Bud Chowder, not being too silly, is not going to be committing to Halo at that main building, especially because that's where his corrupt is, I'm pretty sure. So he's going to be playing around. Oh no, Mike getting stuck on a rock there, going to be taking a free M1 tag there as he rotates over to the shack. ideally not towards any active generators that his team might be working on, but no, everyone else is on a generator, which is great to see. But Mike overextending there a little bit. Cracker coming out, not quite doing much to him, but thankfully Chowder has missed his powder, allowing Mike to throw the god power at the shack and continuing on with the chase here, as we're likely to see a couple gens pop in the background here, Mercy.
Yeah, I do think they are doubling the 1 gem, so sadly he won't be able to get the down and be able to pain res that one before it pops.
Yeah, we do commit to the chase here onto Mike as one does pop in the background in front of main there. Unfortunately, Mike just going on an absolute tear of a run here. Chowder not quite looking too good with his powers, a little bit shaky, but we should be able to break some of these powers, make use of this brutal strength to zone Mike away from these resources and try to commit to a down here. But, ooh, very nice fake there from Mike as he doesn't go for the double bag. Instead, Chowder committing there, but he does vault it this time. Chowder not trying to do any silly double backs, does eventually get the M1. Great play there from Chowder, but looking at the HUD, we got multiple gens with good progress. I believe Anger and FJ might be doubling if my eyes don't deceive me, with Halo also on a pretty high progress generator. Pain res over by the water tower, like hitting Hango, Halo's generator. I'm stumbling over my damn words already, damn. As the Mastermind does rotate away now. Send it, you are not a caster, no input please. We do find Halo here at basically nothing. I don't even think there's a part here, so we should be able to get a nice little injury before he's able to be able to fall lane. But a really nice sidestep from Halo, able to dodge the Mastermind there and rotate back into the resources. It's looking very bad for Adolescents here, Mercy.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm guessing Chowder doesn't play this card, considering that Evolution did pick it, but...
Yeah, Adolescents might not have been fully aware that Evolution do enjoy a bit of the Mastermind, as yeah, Chowder's mechanical skill compared to what we saw from FJ. He's missing a lot of dashes, not quite knowing where to line up his power, but he does have Halo in a bit of a pinch here, as he's able to just keep Halo with this power, and this keeps him from doing a generator, and forces FJ to rotate in and go for the save, but he does break with brutal strength as Mike approaches the second stage here. Halo not quite making it there. We do see FJ nearby as well. Big slam there onto Halo from Chowder, allowing FJ to get the unhook there onto Mike. Gets the M1 tag with 4 injured survivors on the board. Chowder kind of has to snowball here and go to a 4-man slug. Not going for his tunnel. That is a very peculiar choice. FJ trying to play it safe, going for a pre-throw there. Not really doing much for him, as I dare say Anger's still just sitting on a gen somewhere despite the HUD not doing anything. We see it popping in the back end here. I believe this is Mike as well at this jungle gym, but I haven't actually seen him yet, and we have seen him. Unfortunately, not quite able to get the dash there, not connecting with Mike, allowing him to rotate further into the jungle gym here, as he does quite make it, gets the hit over the power with the M1. I think that's just unfortunately a ping diff there, as another gen pops in the background. I didn't even know that there was another gen that was that close. Very well played so far in terms of pressure from Evolution, but if we're able to get another hook on this pain res, it does mean that we're going to be able to keep control of these 2 generators that are by the shack, which does mean Evolution is going to need to do a full reset in the background here and then try and taxi Mike towards the main building so he can go one corner or something of the likes. And while that chase is happening, hopefully Evolution can pop the last few generators and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and sadly Chowder just doesn't have the same pressure that FJ did when they played Wesker, and I'm sadly gonna say that I don't think we're gonna be able to see the Billy set.
No Billy set tonight, unfortunately, and it truly is a shame. Because I do love watching a good Billy set. I feel like every high mobility killer is always just kind of a treat to watch, because you can see some insane mechanical skill on display from those killer players on whatever team might be playing for them. But we do see the unhook coming through onto Mike before he's able to die and hook. It was Anger going for the unhook. Mike, once again, he's got them. He's a man on a mission. He's rotating over towards these 3-side jungle gyms resources, so he can try and play around these to the best visibility. I think he's still got a couple of seconds left to BT if he gets lucky, but that haste coming in clutch, he's able to rotate over that power. This is also a head-on player, so we're not going to be having any exhaustions to help us get anywhere, and this unfortunately does force Mike to play back over by this Ormond tile that just doesn't have any powers, but we do have Anger here able to take a hit, slamming into Mike, which is huge, because not only did we get the hit take from Anger, but deep wounding Mike does also give him the speed boost needed to rotate even further down to main, forcing Chowder to instead grab Anger, which he does do successfully, which is great for him, and put him on a pain res. But this also means we're back to having 4 survivors on the board, and Mike's going to be able to just clear his deep wound, maybe go sit top of main or something like that, somewhere very far away from where all the action's happening, just work a super safe gen while his team try and break apart this 3 gen. We do manage to find FJ as well here. rotating around. I believe this is like a matchstick tile here. Unfortunately, getting caught out before he's able to go for the unhook onto Anger. Even if he did, it would have been a super early unhook, but about 50% progress generated here as well. Mike gets resetting in the background. FJ's able to just get the hell out of dodge and rotate all the way over to main. Halo standing in the middle of the map looking at nothing, but he does have his exhaustion poke available to him, so he's able to get out of dodge. Ooh, just barely missing the grab onto Halo there. Really unfortunate for Chowder as he tries, Halo desperately trying to bait Chowder to chase him at this 4-lane near main. Yeah, I do believe he also has his Godfiller by 11, but just recognizing that Halo is just not worth the effort. He just rotates off. We do find out original tunnel Mike, but he is healthy here. Gets a very nice grab there on his second dash. Tunnel finally being injured once more. Anger about to approach second stage. I should expect a unhook coming through onto him right about now, and there it is. Pre-throw coming through from Mike as he tries to rotate away. He does have this Godfather once again on 11. Now, if I was Evolution, I'll be trying to force an M1 down on this part here to try and go for a power save if Halo's nearby, but no, we do go for the pre-throw there. I don't know if Halo has a Cracker or a Flasher that could be used to go for a save here, because I feel like that would be a great way to build up and keep this pressure that they have going here. Mike, unfortunately, he's got nothing left here. He needs Halo, the Halo, to come save him. But a fantastic double back there. Will coming in clutch, masking his double back on that 4-lane pallet. Double dash not quite working out. Mike tries to jiggy away from the loot, but gets read like a book, and Chowder going for the down as he does kiss the 12-wall edge map. We have Eruption coming through here on this generator. Chowder trying his hardest to play for the 4K1 Tycon, but that gen's just so progress, it doesn't matter. And Evolution take the win. 2-0. We don't know what the stage is going to look like because the match is still going, but they do successfully, oh, hello, Halo, do successfully take the series 2-0, which is a great thing to see, especially after that incredible clutch from Bravo on that dredge set.
Yeah, definitely. The dredge set will be a star favorite. They did excellent on that to be able to win the Mastermind set as well.
Yeah, Mastermind was their pick, so I think a lot of people were expecting them to win the Mastermind set. I would like to check the VIP tipping right about now, actually, and just have a gander at what the community thought was going to go either way. And looking at the dredge set, it did look like Evolution, surprisingly, Evo were in favor for the dredge set. And I read the emojis around the wrong way as we do commit to a chase onto Anger, and it doesn't look like it might even be a 4K0 here. If things go poorly, because we do have two slugs in the background, Mike gets picked up in the background there. We get the grab onto Anger. Unfortunately, no slugging here with that power, but we do secure a couple more stages, so it looks nice and pretty on paper as we see. I don't know who that is. Looks like Mike and Halo rotating away from the hook there. But as I was talking about the VIP tipping, Adolescents were favored to win. The dredge set, 11-5. Unfortunately, didn't come through for them. Evolution were also favored to win Mastermind as well. But very nice play there from Halo. Good double back there as he tries to bait chase onto him. A bit of cheeky. Looks like he's trying to hide into the locker there. Chowder, I think, was trying to go for something fancy as Halo just hopped locker to try and base teammates out, but he's not head on at all, so I don't know what he's doing here. Going for a cheeky throw at the edge map there. We do Dan Halo, which is our last fresh, and I think Evo is just going to take the big 2-0. We are going to get our Mori, so I believe that's going to be, what's that going to be? That's going to be 9-3 fresh. Not bad at all. For Chowder here. Endgame result, 9-3 is really good for Mastermind. Granted, Evolution were probably just playing around their win con all popping on the gens rather than playing around outs. So maybe made a lot of mistakes there in the end game from the euphoria of getting a fantastic 2-0. Do you have any closing arguments, closing statements about the Evolution versus Adolescents set here, Mercy? Any observations?
It was definitely a 7-stage 3 fresh, but it was very close to that 9.
Oh, I guess I misread it wrong. My apologies. I did the math wrong. I thought I saw 2 people on because they didn't die. You dickhead. You idiot. You fool. You can't read. My bad. But very well played to Evolution. Very well deserved and hard earned 2-0 result for them. But also well played to Adolescents. They put up a good show, and they didn't play bad by any means necessary. I do think maybe Chowder needs to brush up on his Mastermind, as mechanically it wasn't looking too great. So definitely some practice there on the Mastermind set. A lot to learn as well from all sides there in terms of the survivors. Bravo as well did a fantastic job on the dredge set, although I think that was mostly because some mistakes were made on Adolescent side that Bravo did a fantastic job of recognizing, capitalizing on, and then continuing to apply the pressure and snowball from there. I do think the build, not the play. I think Surge, Pentimento Ruin, not great. Something more traditional, I think, goes a long way on Dredge and is a lot safer as well, as it's more consistent throughout the match. But I can't argue because You got a 4K too. What do I know? So we're all played all around. We're going to go into an intermission while we get the next series of games set up for you. But before I get banished to intermission, let me just tell you what those are in case you're going to be dipping out after watching that game. Where are they? Yep, up next we've got Carter Kids vs. Forsaken, where we're going to be starting out on Carter Kids' pick of the Spirit, followed by Ghoul, which was Forsaken's pick, and then a potential Plague TB if it does go to the TB. And we'll be right back after a short intermission.